So we are back we're watching Titanic, we're gonna get distracted. But we are back for our After Talk, episode 5.
Episode 5.
American Gods. So let's start at the beginning.
Yes, go.
So the thing the little side story we see is the first people in America as they cross the Bering Strait.
I like that little short though.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Cool. It was very stylized.
I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Carved.
Yeah.
Last time Zach saw a little short coming in, he wasn't thrilled until he saw just how unshort it was.
Ooh, hello.
Yep, that's true. Penis.
I was talking about penis.
Yeah. And they come to America to get food, but there's no food here. Everything's dead, so they have to make a sacrifice to the Flaming Bull, who horns someone in the heart.
It's Bison.
The leader.
Yeah. Oh, right. Buffalo.
The bison or the unicorn?
No, the unicorn's later.
Yeah, the unicorn was the missile.
Way later.
And then they have food, and it's all better.
Yeah. But they forget about the god. That's the point.
The god they brought with them.
They forgot.
The god of the mammoth got replaced by the god of the buffalo.
Okay. I wasn't paying that much attention, apparently. But that's okay. Anyway, nuggets. Even though I'm taking the notes. And then we get Laura. So she explains to Shadow about how she was boning Robbie, and
we spent all of last week's episode talking about or seeing that. Do we have to spend a whole nother half of an episode just listening to her talk about it?
We talk about it. It was so boring.
It's like they took one of the weakest characters and then they have just
But she's the strongest character.
Well, ironically, physically, she is the strongest character, I guess, but it's just the most uninteresting character. Yes, you've already spent a whole episode on her, and now we have to just...
Well, I just question if part of it is if the series... How many episodes is it going to be? Do we know?
8?
Mm-hmm. If it's 8...
No, we're on 5.
We're on 5, but it's only covering 100 pages of the book. Like they're making one book stretch out into multiple seasons.
Yeah.
Why would
So they have to slow it down.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Why do they have to do these with TV shows? Just do a few awesome, badass episodes instead of trying to fill up 100 book pages with 8 hours. 8 hours. So wait, that is how much? Like,
I don't know what's the question.
How many minutes per page?
About 13.
13?
Well, minutes? Oh, I don't know.
Well, yeah, if there's 100
it's about 13
pages.
It's about 13 pages per episode.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing minutes.
Yeah.
Pages per
13
episode.
pages per 1 hour episode? Good lord.
That's ridiculous.
I know, they're ridiculous.
But we also see Laura is like warming her body for Shadow in the tub.
Yeah.
Which apparently is going to make her body rot
faster.
Well, yeah, I think the point of just seeing Laura the whole time is just that she's still not alive. She's still dead inside.
Yeah.
Literally.
She's start decaying.
Yeah.
So she has limited time, basically.
Unless he can bring her back, because when he kissed her, her heart
True love's kiss.
Oh, please don't.
Good
that
Lord.
is not her true love.
She thinks it is
She
now.
thinks it is, yeah.
It's her only love.
If he kisses her lips where that other cock broke
But
off...
does she believe that he brought her back?
All that matters is that he is her light.
Right, but like, what is her...
She said she felt something.
Does she think he's the one that...
No.
Okay.
No, that was
I don't think she believes
saw
that.
it as a gift. Yeah. So we can talk about the coin. So we find out that she has the coin.
Yeah.
Sweeney comes looking for her.
Yep.
And then she beats him up, and then
She
he tries
flicks
to drown
him
her. Yeah.
almost to death.
We got some rules though. She has to willingly give him.
Oh yeah,
she
has to willingly give it back.
You can't just take it from her.
That's how fate typically works. There's always a bargain to be had.
Okay.
If you give something freely, then they will owe you, just like if you ask them for something. But it's just kind of...
So he can't rob her.
No.
For a lucky coin, that makes no sense.
But he tries to kill her anyway, and then the cops show up, and they get mad because she's dead. And he says, "You're an asshole, dead wife."
We have a point. We actually have a point by a viewer that said, "No one was like, weird. This dude killed a chick with autopsy scars.
Yeah.
Awful casual at the city morgue."
Well, I feel like when police are going in and they're seeing a very large man drowning a very tiny woman, and subdue him, the last thing you're going to check for is autopsy scars.
Yeah, I don't think they would stop and question that. I think they would just go ahead and take him to jail.
Yeah.
But then once you notice the autopsy scars, wouldn't you?
We didn't get that far. They didn't even take him, like...
Yeah.
Maybe they clarification is
also
he
a
was
thing.
doing
That's
a
true.
Norman Bates
Point
thing.
taken.
And like, either way, you're drowning a dead body. So like, what the fuck?
And
Yeah,
by
where'd
the
you get this
way,
dead body from?
Right.
that comment was by a new viewer, Molly B. Media.
Hello,
Molly B.
Welcome to our show.
She's never commented before.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited.
You comment virginity.
You've just been a lurker.
I like lurkers. Lurkers make us lurker money.
Lurkers are fine.
So then we have Sweeney gets arrested, taken to the police station, but the police station's been bombed, which we'll talk about in a second, or like destroyed. So he busts out of the car and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have media and technology and Mr. World, who are the new gods that we dealt with today. So media picks up technology and is like, "Hey, you got to apologize to Mr. Wednesday because Mr. World doesn't want that nonsense right now."
I it's okay. See,
so he does. And then we get to meet Mr. World.
So, okay, well,
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Why do you think the technology boy has to apologize?
Because Mr. World told him to.
But why?
It'd be much easier if they appease Wednesday and get Wednesday to just willingly join their cause.
Yeah, just kind of roll over.
As opposed to, like, actually having to fight him. Because Wednesday, although he might be not as strong as he used to be, he's still an old-ass god.
Yeah.
So he still has some tricks and shit.
Because, I mean, they even talk about that when Tech is like, "We have him, why aren't we doing anything?" And Mr. World is like, "No, he's older than you are ever going to be.
Yeah.
We can't
We have
really
to
fuck with
respect him.
Yeah.
Alright. So
Which, I mean, that makes me go, or at
Do you
least
think
gods
it's
have respect for
or
each
fear?
other. I think
So
it's a little bit of both. I feel like...
World then has to at least be, like, from, like, the old gods.
Yeah.
World's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Much
World
better.
is probably
Yeah,
something
so
maybe
thank you.
from
You're
Odin's
welcome.
pantheon.
I was going to say, I think World is probably, at least I would assume, World is definitely younger than Odin.
No, I mean, I think World is one of the new gods. I mean, it's definitely a setup of the new gods versus the old gods. And the new gods, you know, have a faction led by World and media saying, we need to, like, sidle up to them and make them happy so they'll let us do what we want.
What if there are gods always, like, within the faction, within their pantheons, there's always... Because Odin was obviously the leader of his faction, of his pantheon. There's always, like, things within the pantheons that... There's always infighting. Some god wants to take over for the, like, god that's in charge. And the way World speaks, he's older than the other ones, than the other two.
You can hear it in his voice,
So he knows what's going on.
So, I guess we're going into...
I'm sorry. K. Richard J. is saying...
Hi, K. Richard J.
World appears to be global markets, global networks, global data. So he's almost a god of globalization.
But he also kind of talked about written history.
Yes.
So he
The
could
Book of
just
Life,
be
yeah,
the
the
Book
Yeah,
of
the
Life.
Book of Life.
So he could essentially
everything.
be...
He knows everything.
Yeah.
He's seen everything that's happened.
Perhaps then he could be still a newer god, but not as new as technology.
What if he's like...
and,
No. I had a thought, but it's done.
Scott, I mean, so... Does World and Media and Technical Boy have physical powers?
Well, Media obviously has, like, physical.
Yeah.
She was able to, like, kiss out two of, like,
That's true.
his front teeth.
Yeah.
Well, and he also got Shadow Lynch.
Because the old guy...
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't physically. He had his putty people do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
but...
Because we see the old gods have super physical things, like holding back a bear, and, you know, waking up the sun, and, you know, hammers and death. Like, they have super physical things that they do.
Well, Technology Boy was able to send a fax to a fax machine that hadn't been plugged in or turned on for years.
Yeah.
So they can definitely interact with things in the physical world.
I just thought that was interesting. How they are more, I guess, influential than they are physical, where the old gods are more physical than they are influential.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, that could just be like technology. Like, technology is a lot less physical. You know, we're sitting on like bits and bytes, but it's not like a hard physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's just like.
Yeah.
And there's only, like, so do we believe there's only 3 of them?
That we've seen so far.
No,
we've seen.
Well, those like the, do you think those are the
I
top 3,
definitely
or are they
think
just,
that
like,
there's more new gods than just those 3.
Drugs is a big thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a god of
drug
drugs.
lord?
Yeah, I mean, the intro always shows, like,
Drugs,
crazy, like,
yeah.
drug paraphernalia and
Drug
shit.
is a thing, yeah.
Well, then there's a god of war, a modern god of war.
There has to be. That'd be cool.
I mean, they've already. Well, but media's already talked about like nukes because that's what
Yeah.
they want to.
Yeah.
In order to give Odin branding, I guess they want to put him on a nuke and send it to him.
So there's a nugget. That's the other nugget is that
That plan.
Mr. World comes with the bargain or with the.
Well, and that's what the opening also shows us. All the traditional, old world gods, are modernized. The menorah has data ports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Buddha is surrounded by drugs.
So they're infused together.
Yeah.
Because all gods want to do is be remembered.
Yeah.
That's their number one.
Without people's belief, they die.
That's their objective. Is just to be one person to worship and remember them.
Yeah.
And the new gods, like I said, what do they want? There's not a want there. There's.
I think we got that answer in one of the earlier episodes.
I am
Where they
totally
were
humming
saying
out the score to
The
what is
new
happening
gods
on the
kind of
screen
thrive
behind
off
me.
of. When we first met Media, she was saying how they thrive off of human beings' need
Time.
for
Well, that's
attention and for being on your phone and being consumed by everything being on a device. So,
And that's what
I think that's,
Wednesday said. I think was that the new gods just occupy people's time, but the old gods give back.
yeah.
Yeah. Any questions on chat?
Um,
Or any more nuggets?
Sure.
We finished with the nuggets? Those nuggets?
Those are the nuggets.
There wasn't a.
So we have, other than the autopsy scars question, K. Richard Jenkins says, Technical Boy said Wednesday's collecting monsters. Is he referring to Shadow and Laura or just the old gods in general?
I don't know.
Would Technical Boy consider the old god monsters? The
I
old
feel
god
like he was
monsters?
referring specifically at that point to Shadow.
Apparently Shadow is an old god of death.
Oh, is that what we're thinking now?
No, he specified it.
Oh, okay.
Like, at some point in that episode, they specified that Shadow was an old god of death.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
Oh, really? No.
I missed that part.
Yeah, they specifically mentioned a god of death. He's bringing a god of death to the fight.
No,
bringing
but that's why
Chernobog.
he's in. That's why.
No,
he's in
that's
Chicago, was he
Chernobog.
was
Oh,
going
that's
to meet
Chernobog.
Chernobog is the god
Yeah.
of death and
I was like,
Okay.
I don't know.
invent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the question until I lost my mind. So why did the old gods need Shadow?
Well, I mean, I don't think that has been laid out for us.
I don't think so either.
We don't have that information yet. We don't have hints to that,
Okay.
other than the hero's quest that is typical of mythology.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. Totally makes sense.
That's true.
Any questions from?
So I'm just gonna go through and what people were saying here. Molly says, anyone nervous for the 7th episode title, A Prayer for Mad Sweeney?
Yeah.
I mean, he needs all the help he can get.
He
at this
really
point.
We'll
Yeah.
see when we get there.
We like him a lot.
I do like him.
But I think her point was is that you're thinking that a prayer would mean like because he's
For his
dead.
death, yeah.
I think it's just a prayer for him to,
People are always going to believe in leprechauns. I don't think he has to worry about actual
Yeah,
death.
I don't think so either.
So whether he gets
Damn,
his
it's
luck
St.
back.
Patty's Day.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And Lucky Charms too.
And Lucky Charm
I
cereal.
love Lucky Charms cereal. Maybe that's what Mad Sweeney turns into. He turns into the
marshmallows.
Lucky Charms guy.
Fighting Irish.
We're only on that too. I think it'd be better if he turned into marshmallows, but okay.
I'd be fine with that too.
I'm drinking.
Yeah, you need to. So let's see, what was another comment? So K. Richard Jenkins, we're going back to Laura just for a second, mentioned, because we were talking about how Shadow is her light. Says, for the first time in a long time of depression, Laura feels something warm and sunny, so she's going to stalker zombie Shadow.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think, what else does she have to do? She's not gonna, she has no other purpose.
Yeah.
She's not gonna hang out in a hotel room forever.
Yeah.
And she's obviously linked to him. That's the only light in her entire life.
So
everything is black and white.
She can always find him anywhere he goes.
That's true.
And he's gonna need some help because he's finding himself in some weird situations. Did we discuss that tree in the...
No, we didn't
yeah.
discuss the tree.
So yeah, so Mr. World and Media and Tech Boy come in and like there's mayhem and destruction in the police room, building, whatever, station, there it is. Yeah. And then there was an eye like in the wood grain that kind of popped out.
Yeah.
And then it became a tree that was attacking Shadow.
Yeah.
It attacked him.
Yeah, it grabbed onto him.
It stabbed him or something.
And then it was growing out through a body of one of the police officers.
People
so
there.
What could the tree be?
I think it's showing significance to the very opening scene that we had.
But what was it? We didn't see a tree.
And why is it against Shadow? Like, why is it just trying to consume anything, or is it specifically going after Shadow?
I don't know if it's specifically going after Shadow.
And why in the police station? Why not
because
outside?
also, remember, Shadow has been linked with the buffalo the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
why
at the very
station?
beginning, that was the buffalo the whole scene
that's
was
where
the buffalo.
That's
where he
tree?
was.
Shadow is.
That was where Shadow was. So maybe it has a link to do with why we keep seeing the buffalo every time Shadow comes out.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm confused about the tree.
The tree confused me.
Yeah.
Because I can't. Other than it wasn't like what was the realm of the gods? Wasn't it a tree?
Yggdrasil?
Yeah. Wasn't it like a large tree that they all lived in?
Yggdrasil is a world tree.
Yeah.
Why would the world tree be in a police station?
It seemed like a
And why would it hurt?
Yeah.
Why would it hurt Shadow?
I don't think that's what it was.
Because if a tree creature would be an old god,
it's a fucking ant.
But that would still be
okay,
an old
so
god thing.
our viewers are saying the tree seemed like an old god vibe, even Wednesday-ish. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how to pronounce this. The world tree is what. That is what K. Richard J is saying, because what Jacob said is even older than Odin.
Oh.
But why would it just randomly appear in a random place?
Maybe that has to do with Wednesday getting
all
his monsters together.
We don't know what it was doing.
Well, it attacked Shadow.
It could have been.
We're assuming it was attacking Shadow. It could have just been reaching out to him. Consider that it could be like at this point the old gods seem to have to reach out in more physical ways than like the new gods. The new gods like I'll just send you an email, whereas the old gods are like I'll send you a raven, and then you just have a raven. And you're like, well, what do you want? And it just like talks to you.
There's a tree, poke.
Yeah, basically. So I think it might actually trying to be reaching out to them.
Okay.
I mean, I wish they would explain. No, not going to. I'm sure, but
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, so K. Richard Jenkins. Oh, you're just so intelligent, sir. He says, legend says that if you put a cutting of the tree thing,
Yggdrasil,
that anywhere, it may appear and grow there.
Yeah.
Oh,
so if the image was there, it may have been.
It was definitely an eye.
Yeah.
So the eye in the wood was a cutting, and it sought out Shadow, indication of power? Question mark.
I don't know.
I definitely think Shadow is an important player in this, and that he's got some kind of power, whether it be physical or I don't know, something else.
Next question.
Not a question, but a statement. Okay, Richard Jenkins yet again. He says, old gods are closer to the followers, much more personal. They are still selfish, but they interact and give back when they can. The new gods just absorb attention.
Well, and I was just... Old gods gave life, right? They actually gave life, living things.
Typically, yeah.
Where the new gods don't really create anything other than...
They don't give back.
Right. So they're very self-fulfilling. They're masturbatory. I think
they just take time, but they,
I think it's interesting that the old gods actually gave life.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Hold on. I'm writing back right now. So, I think we have one more comment. Yes. Molly says, I don't trust Wednesday either. None of the gods trust him, so I don't put it past him to have set up Shadow.
I don't think he set up Shadow as much as I don't think Wednesday actually has a bearing on what's going on. I think he's making it up as he goes along, and no one wants to actually go along with what. Or there's a history of he's done this before, and half of us died.
Oh, Wednesday?
Yeah, like they tried to battle them before, when maybe 200 years ago or whatever, when everything started turning. And they may have lost a lot of people, a lot of gods along the way. I don't know. There seems to be a history with a lot of them between each other that are not part of the same pantheon. Like they have met before.
Yeah.
Somehow they know each other.
You're always fighting for believers.
Right. So something. I think there's a story that we don't know about all the old gods.
Yeah.
Or maybe they fought each other at one point.
But then they learned that they need each other to survive.
So they're like, I don't fucking trust you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's everybody.
All right,
thanks for listening and watching.
This was our talk back, everybody. So if you go for the month of June, we are doing a $1 pledge on our Patreon. We have exclusive content down there. It does take money to run this channel. And
sure does.
Unfortunately, YouTube is not sharing their wealth with this channel in particular. So if you want to see this channel continue, help us give $1, and that would help a lot. If all our followers give us $1, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, I would.
Oh, I don't have a glass, a cup. Oh well. All right. I'll this dragon. Oh, this is cool.
Ooh.
I like this. All right.
He's gonna poke himself with a dragon.
Wednesday.
And now our watch is